before we get into why Peter Pan is actually a devil, and the author himself in his notes pointed that out, I'd like to bring up that they're changing my voice and I don't drink or smoke. We'll get into these pictures in part two, and how a demon is, one of the definitions of a demon is a forceful, fierce, or skilled performer of a specific activity. You see it's very much associated with the carnival, the circus, and things like this. And here is a demon dressed like a martial artist in a certain way with a certain color scheme and a certain theme. Okay, me personally, for the most part, I did not wear clothes for the color association, but sometimes I did with the yellow hooded sweater and so on and so forth. As far as that goes, I don't deal in code or color or occult schemes. My colors would basically be yellow for the sun, and for God, the symbol of the bridegroom. Okay, that's the symbol of God because of what it means in nature. The sun isn't God. The blue for the sky and the white for the moon, though I don't worship the moon and I don't believe in witchcraft or occultism or anything that stuff. Okay, and I don't believe in accepting femininity, being part feminine. I don't believe in that. Okay, it has to do with the message of nature that predates the kind of Western interpretation of these things as such. Because the West sees the moon as just a female, where I see it as where the man is romantic and also it's a symbol of being thoughtful, right? But in terms of thinking about science and thinking a certain way, but it's also a symbol of being romantic, like the white light in the dawn in the morning. Okay. Anyway, so let's get into the Peter Pan real quickly. He was the main villain in the original version of Peter Pan. There was no Captain Hook. Okay, so he was the main villain. There was no Captain Hook at first. It was just Pan. Point two, the author referred to him as a demon boy in his notes. 3, he thins the herd, aka he kills the children who are not killed by the pirates before they grow old. This must be a metaphor for spiritual death, and rape is something people do not often recover from. Okay, their lack of recovery is often a result of their genetic proclivities and a lack of standing firm for moral precision. Therefore, they seek to lash out on the world and recklessly blame people for their failure instead of logically taking on their oppressors. Now, a lot of people say don't blame the victim. Okay, I'm the son of 2 doctors. This is just my diagnosis. Okay, whether or not you blame the victim to any degree, that's not what this video is about. It's about what happens and what I perceive, in my expert opinion, to be what is occurring as somebody who understands human nature and people very well. Okay, it's part of martial arts, right? You must try to understand others. You must try to understand yourself and master yourself and so on and so forth. Okay, and if you're the top martial artist ever, you must try to tell them why they should obey God through you. And that's the situation I'm in. Okay. So again, they don't recover and they start, sometimes they join rock and roll groups and they have faces like this. These are kind of gender neutral LGBT faces. Okay. And sometimes they don't see themselves as LGBT, but they slip into a more kind of disassociated state of mind. This guy might have been sexually abused as a child, the author himself. Anyway, I'm running out of time here, so let's just keep going here. 4, he's based on Pan, the Greek deity of revelry and the wild, reveling, partying. He is very much associated with orgies and reckless behavior. He plays a flute and thrives in chaos. This part's key. He thrives in chaos. Okay? Again, these are my notes here. So, again, he's raping people here. He's about to snatch that female up. Okay? There's a certain chaotic nature of it. He's not a very organized guy. He's kind of silly. He's rebelling against an organized order. There's also a pirate order. And what these things symbolize is a story for part 2. But it has to do with, how, it's kind of like Skull and Bones at Yale. It's very much has to do with corporation. Corporate is a play on words for core pirate. And the corporations basically run the government and so on and so forth. So who the pirates are isn't like just gang members. It's them too, but it's first and foremost the corporate state, the governing class, the social clubs, what have you. Okay. 5, he is the devil on the tarot card, right? Say Pan, Priapus, right? Pri, Alpha, Puss. It's a story for another day. Pan's name means all. It is also nap spelled backwards. See Sleeping Beauty. There's connections there. And Zeus is said to change forms to rape people. Zeus dominates all the other Greco-Roman deities. He is Baal and Set's Greek equivalent. Okay, so he's He's Set, Zeus is the Greek equivalent of Baal of the Middle East and Set of Egypt. And he is at odds with Horus, who is a play on words for true heroes. Not to be confused with Greek heroes, as they are under the influence of the Greek gods slash demons, and thus are controlled opposition at best. So the Greek heroes like Hercules and Theseus and Perseus, they are, Jason the Argonauts. These are Satanists, right? They're fake heroes, as we see, with the police, with the fake hero propaganda, the military. Any fake hero you see on TV, some guy tackles a terrorist. It's just a bad guy wanting to have his 5 minutes of fame. Maybe he does care about people getting hurt. Maybe he doesn't. But he's a fake hero because he's outside the divine order and he's accepted the boundaries of the propaganda state. And who knows how often these things are staged and in what way they're staged and so on and so forth. I do think that basically all the shootings that they claim to have occurred actually occurred. I don't think that these are something that didn't happen, but I think that there's technology and that there's collaboration going on here. These are military operations, psychological operations, first and foremost, to control the behaviors and sentiments of society. Feelings, who dates who, and who's looks up to who. That's what they're trying to meddle in. It's the purpose of psychological operation units. The CIA is a military intelligence agency that runs all the other intelligence agencies, and there are countless psychological operation units in the military, and they are obviously at work domestically as well. Okay, there's military bases all over America and so on and so forth. Anyway, where are we here? Pan rapes Psyche and turns her out, and she is in a state of chaos and confusion, pandemonium, if you will. There's key wordplay there, confusion, right? To confuse, to, the con arts, right? Consent, right? Consent. Also the pandemonium, it says, I'm you, pandemon. It's a wordplay.